From running into tragedies and rejections at every corner to finally getting his big break after all these years, this is why Pedro Pascal almost quit acting. Starting out as an actor is never easy. You've got loads of competition, constant rejections, and of course, the feeling that you're not going to make it. Guess what? This is exactly what happened to Pedro Pascal. In a recent interview with Esquire, the actor opened up about the tough beginning of his career. Back in the 90s, when a young Pedro was looking to make a name for himself, he was met with constant disappointments. This might be hard to believe now, since he secured his name among the A-list actors in Hollywood, but the guy never had it easy. In his own words, "I was getting my kicked." Yikes. Sounds like times were super tough. During this time, he was working as a waiter just to make ends meet. But hey, when you've got dreams to fulfill, no obstacle is big enough to stop you. Speaking of dreams, becoming a good actor was his dream since childhood. Pascal shared that he got this mysterious grown-up feeling while watching movies, and at some point, he just got addicted to it. His passion for becoming a part of the industry was so huge that he even moved to New York. Here, he attended NYU's Tisch School of the Arts and became buddies with people with a similar passion. Did you know that Sarah Paulson was also a part of his friend group? I guess it's safe to say that his company was a major green flag. The Last of Us star also opened up about how films were a way to help him and his friends escape mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. However, a passion and good friends weren't going to get him anywhere near his goal. He pretty much spent all of the late 90s auditioning, going to auditions, and then auditioning some more. Apart from acting, he didn't exactly have it easy when it came to his side job. You heard that right? Pascal actually got fired from most of his jobs as a waiter. At one point, things seemed pretty hopeless to him. The poor guy would get close to being cast, and right out of nowhere, someone else would swoop in and take that role. This became a norm, and the only reason why his agent didn't drop him was because the feedback he got wasn't that bad. Get this! The mediocre feedback from casting directors was the only reason why he didn't quit so soon. Well, that and his delusional self-determination. Oh, and of course, the fact that he had no real skill. So, at this point, acting was the only thing he knew how to do. Luckily for him, though, work started trickling in. He got cast in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Touched by an Angel, and even appeared on MTV's Undressed. Now, if you think this was enough to set him on the right path, then sadly, that wasn't the case. Unfortunately, his story took a dark turn, and young Pedro lost his mother in 2000. He had to go back to Chile to be there with his family. This little break didn't only affect his personal life, but also put his career on hold. When he came back, Pedro was met with more and more disappointments. Things got really bad. The young actor missed his mother so much that he started using her maiden name, Pascal, as his stage name. That's so adorable. Anyway, back to his struggles. Did you know there were times when his pal Sarah would loan him money? That's right. He didn't have enough to buy himself food, so he had to depend on his friends sometimes. All this was extremely heartbreaking for the young actor. According to him, "I died so many deaths, but hey, going through all these bad times might have actually helped him out a lot." And no, I don't mean in a what doesn't kill you makes you stronger sort of way. Turns out he needed to let go of his past versions to learn and grow as a person and an actor. For Pedro, he needed to have some major exposure before he turned 29. Otherwise, his career was just done. This clear vision helped him take off the rose glasses that he'd worn as a kid and actually readjust his commitments just so that he could figure out his priorities. Sounds like this readjustment worked because a few years later he was cast in Manhattan Theater Club's off-Broadway production of Beauty of the Father. Pascal's success in Hollywood came after a whole lot of setbacks, which just makes everyone love him even more. After all, who doesn't love an underappreciated hero? The star might be doing pretty well for himself now, but some of the rejections he got will just shock you, especially one of the recent ones where the opportunity to wear some fangs was taken from him. You heard that right. The star auditioned for Marcel Gerard's role in the Vampire Diaries spin-off of the originals. If you ask me, there's no one who'd be more fit for the role. I mean, he's charismatic and brave as well, just like the character. What else could one want? But apparently, all this wasn't enough for the casting team, and he was rejected. That's a big loss right there. Not for Pedro, of course, but the show. According to the show's creator, the actor was a bit too mature for the role. Too bad, isn't it? Clearly, he's still figuring his way around Hollywood. But for now, it's clear his career will go fine. Why do I sound so sure? You might be wondering, because the people he's worked with can't help but sing his praises. Remember Craig Mazin? Yep, the executive producer of The Last of Us. Well, he's here to tell us how hard the star worked to get where he is. Mazin thinks that Hollywood didn't ever give the guy a boost. There was no helping hand extended towards him. Oh no, whatever he is right now, it's all because of his own hard work. The producer also said this was not somebody Hollywood sweated to make a star. Well, it's not like the industry tried to ensure he won't succeed. But, like I said before, they didn't drag him along either. Mazin thinks that all casting agents just sat there with their arms crossed, and it was Pascal alone who was fighting his way through and trying his best to connect every single time. It's a good thing the star kept going because now he's got himself a net worth of $10 million. Impressive, I know. Speaking of his buddies, actor Oscar Isaac is also ecstatic that his longtime friend is finally getting the recognition he deserves. In an interview, Isaac said, "How could you not just fall in love with him?" Well, that's something we completely agree on, am I right? The two starred together in the previously mentioned Beauty of the Father. And, well, according to Isaac, Pascal is someone who's finally getting the recognition that he's due. That sounds about right. Another friend who's extremely happy with the actor's newfound success is, of course, Sarah Paulson. She even declared the situation to be psychotic. Paulson thinks it's wild that everyone wants a piece of her friend. But hey, it's not like fans can help it. While talking about Pascal's recent success, she explained that the viewers instantly connected with him because they wanted him to succeed. Fair assumption considering how likable the actor is. Sarah thinks this newfound fame is a sign that even bigger things are yet to come. Man, the amount of faith she has in her buddy is beyond anything. Paulson thinks that Pascal might even end up becoming a major movie star, and that he might take on the role of Hollywood's latest heartthrob. Sounds plausible, especially since the internet is already calling him Daddy. Paulson thinks Pedro is ready to take over the reins of romantic comedies from the likes of Bruce Willis and even Mel Gibson. She even suggested that he could star in a remake of all the Die Hards and even the Lethal Weapon movies. Seems like something fans would be really into. At this point, Pascal's portfolio has some big productions in it, but his real claim to fame is the post-apocalyptic drama The Last of Us. I guess you could say that this series was his real big break. The show has been a massive success, multiplying Pascal's popularity in Hollywood. He played the role of Joel alongside Bella Ramsey's Ellie. Both of them instantly became fan faves. Right now, he's trying to navigate the embarrassment of riches and basically just getting used to it all. The series has a 96% audience score and an 8.8 rating on IMDb. Currently, fans are waiting on a season 2, which will only help the actor's popularity. There you have it, folks. From finally getting his big break after all these years, to running into tragedies and rejections at every corner, this was everything on why Pedro Pascal almost gave up on acting.